Dave Winters. I work at GoPro. Title is Big Data Architect, and I live in Belmont, California. So we're building a data platform. We've been building it for actually going on 4 years now. I think the coolest thing about it is it's a very dynamic platform. So as the data changes, it's able to adapt to the data. And we're also evolving with the times, and now machine learning is of course the big excitement area everywhere. And so now we're changing it from just a data platform but to more of a machine learning platform to make it easier for data scientists to collaborate on it. Unfortunately, those are like my three favorite topics too. I mean, they really are, because I am a geek and I love just coding itself. So anything related to software, but architecture is where I've spent a lot of my time, especially really the last 5 years. And so I'm always interested in taking more of that big picture perspective. But at the same time, big data is my life. I mean, that's the area I work in. So I'll be honest, I've gone to all 3 tracks, and it's a competition each time I look at the next session. I'm like, oh, which one do I go to? You have to. Fortunately, I know they're all on YouTube, so I'll be catching a lot of the talks afterwards, I'm sure. So I did best practices on real experience from building the data platform. I think honestly the best practices are ones you learn from mistakes. I always remind my children of that. But honestly, where I've tried things and it didn't work, and you tried something else, and I can usually tell when they're good best practices I've shared with people, because they'll come up to me and talk to me later about it, and they'll share the same ones. And honestly, one of the best ones I had today was someone came up to me and talked to me about a problem of basically how you manage tables and how they had the same problem as me, and we traded information saying we need to kind of figure this one out. And hopefully in another year, maybe I'll have some more information on that. You can come back and talk about that. Well, I think it's kind of in the similar vein where, I enjoy hearing the talks where people are actually talking about the things that they've actually done. And, definitely anything that's related to building machine learning infrastructures these days, because there's a lot of machine learning going on. But I think a lot of times it seems like it's happening kind of in small silos, and it's not being done on like a big platform. So definitely anything related to that, and mistakes people have made and things they learned from it would be great. The Scala, I'd have to say, like when I've been fortunate, I've been doing this for going on 25 years, and started programming in Java and actually 1.0. It was more playing around, and then got really serious in like Java 1.1 and 1.2. And I'd have to say, like when I was really first introduced to Scala, and I'm a late entrant to Scala compared to a lot of people. It's really only been the last 3 years. It really was an epiphany for me. It was just a completely different way of thinking about programming. The functional programming I had last done was like over 20 years before that in college, and it was the first time where I really was like, oh wow, this really applies. It applies perfectly to big data. Scala, I think, just keeps getting stronger with each and every release. I think they're very innovative and very good at keeping the releases fresh. And I think it just comes down to really people, like all of the people at this conference, talk about the great success we've had with those projects, and there'll be more and more people using it. My favorite thing is I've gone to a lot of conferences. I've been fortunate to speak at a lot of conferences. And I think this conference, I don't think, it's very different from other conferences. I feel that it's more collegial, that there's just so much interaction with other people and sharing of ideas. Everyone seems to be just really, I think, motivated by their passion of whatever it is they're working on. And so I found that there's just so much more idea sharing at this conference than any other conference that's out there.